Tonight's episode is brought to you in part by Jenee Club TV and Wilson's Pizza and Grill.
This from my pops, California coastlines, living out my real mind. Now it's really showtime, now it's how I draw a line. From the fake to real, that's how it feels when you multi. But let's not forget all of the giants I wanna stunt down. Scared that their positions can't be taken with a new sound.
Oh my God, say players, man. So.
I'm waiting for you to come back with it.
Yeah. All right, rewind. Hey, do-over. That's what they used to say, do-over. Give me a
On the
do-over.
live.
Give me a do-over. Do-over. Here we go. I'm good now. Appreciate that. Okay. All right. So we're bouncing. Welcome. What's happening, good people? And we are happy to have you here to vibe with us and play a part in keeping the culture with the Evening Social Podcast. Tonight is a special night. I've been waiting on this night for a while. All right, so it's a special night for you. So excuse us if we have a little too much fun tonight.
All right.
So first things first. Don't forget the coach. Then comes Mo.
And I'm Jabrelle, Jenee.
All right, and you cannot forget our DJ. Being rich.
You got a little bit too much sauce, Ben.
It feel good. Okay, you got that bull 23 on today, you know. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, original. Okay, I love it. All right. We can't forget Ben Rich. Please follow him, you know what I'm saying, on Instagram, DJ Ben Rich.
In Houston.
All right.
That's right.
hey.
That's right. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Now, cannot forget we're here at 1739 Gallery. That's special tonight because our guest is the owner of 1739
This
Gallery.
is 1739.
So,
You need to put that on a shirt.
Got that.
Yeah, oh, dang.
Already.
Already.
I already got that. Okay. All right. So tonight you're in for a treat. It's kind of special because it's our 65th episode. All right. And so on our 65th episode, we got another dot boy in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A WYCO native, KCKCC graduate.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? While he was there, he managed to make the first team, all J-Hall team twice. You know what I'm saying? And then he became the leading scorer in his sophomore year. But he was the second leading scorer his freshman year. Yeah, so you think I remembered all this stuff.
Okay.
They're like, oh, yeah, I used to watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell this. He ain't never seen a shot that he didn't want to shoot.
You better know it.
You know what I'm saying? He shoot that thing. You know what I'm saying? And he scored. He makes that. You know what I mean? Which translated over into business. He still shoots in business. That's something that we're going to get into tonight. And he's still scoring in business. All right? He is a businessman. And he's a true definition of an entrepreneur. Out the mud and from something to nothing. Made a way from himself. Real estate developer. Hollywood Hooks what they call it.
That's what they call it.
They call him Hollywood Hooks.
I love it.
Yeah.
I know it comes from trouble with me. Try to keep it peaceful, little struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. and cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you loving on me. I put in the miss.
That's my guy. Steve Hooks. Steve Hooks. Appreciate
Hey,
you,
man, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate that.
Man.
It's been a long time, though.
Yeah.
Coming,
It's been a long
right?
time.
Been a long time
That's
coming.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's okay. We understand what the delay was.
Do we understand? Okay.
Yeah, we understand that.
Huh?
We understand.
Timing.
Timing.
Yeah, time. That's what we gonna say.
Perfect timing.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, so we gonna do a little something different. Normally I say a lot of things, we talk about the definition of this and that and we get to it. But everybody know today is about, you know what I'm saying? And y'all, I want y'all to understand, they call him Hollywood Hooks not because he went Hollywood or he's thinking of nothing. It's Hollywood hoods, because from the hood, you know what I'm saying, everybody want to accomplish things that's seen in great big things. You see what I'm saying? And so that's where the Hollywood came from. Not because of a mind of trying to be better. It came from the things he doing is on the grand scale. Yeah. It's on the big scale. It belongs, you know what I'm saying, in Hollywood.
They
so just understand. So let's get to it, man. We're going to move. They know this conversation not for us. It's for those who come before and after us. You know, we're going to pull up those who helped us, and then we're going to pour those who coming after us. So they know that. So let's get to straight out. You know, if somebody was to ask you, what's your profession, what would you say? I'm telling you, I'm throwing curveballs. Normally it's her. I'm throwing curveballs.
Entrepreneur.
I got my quisenberry on.
Grand hustle. Entrepreneur.
Okay, I love it. And see, with that being said, now I'm gonna let her ask her question first, then I'm gonna
What's my question?
I mean,
we started fun questions already?
No, it's on here every week. That's the.
Okay.
Now the sudden she don't want to ask her question.
Let me show you why. We pick and choose who we ask it to. Now listen, I'm gonna ask you here. Nah, you married? Ain't that hard?
No, I'm married. Yeah, I'm married.
Yeah, you married?
Yeah.
See?
22 years.
I don't know why you want.
22 years.
Yeah, I'll be scared to ask people.
She asked how good because she ain't got a mic on.
Because don't ask me.
So, do you have kids?
I do. I have 7.
Okay. Kids. There we go.
Yeah, 4 boys, 3 girls.
4 boys, 3 girls.
Yeah.
They all beautiful too.
Oh yeah.
And successful.
Very successful. Very blessed. I'm very blessed to have the seeds that God's created for me. So I'm very blessed for my 4 boys, 3 girls.
Good. So now I'm gonna go back to that profession. You know, entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Grand hustle.
Right.
All right. Let's talk about Hooks, Bobo, and Smith. I'm out the gate. How that come? Hooks, Bobo, and Smith. I'm out the gate with that one. You know what I'm saying? HBS, no ceiling day parties. How did that come? Give me some of the grandest parties that our city did see.
Man.
So talk about that.
Man, I was living in Houston, man. It's kind of crazy. It started by coming back to Kansas City in 2011-12, and I had a football team, a lingerie football team called the Kansas City Tees, and we were Kobe and Bobo. I'd already started doing entertainment stuff. They was doing events and stuff like that. And I partnered up with Bobo. I've been knowing him since I was childhood friend. He introduced me to Kobe. Kobe's actually an ex-football player for Kansas City Chiefs at the time. And so I was like, man, let's you know, I got these girls, you know, want to introduce them to Kansas City. How can we do that? You know, I got this concept that Houston and Dallas, Texas, people always do this during the daytime. You know, we older now, so people don't like to go out at nighttime. How can I introduce them to the city? I said, but I want to try this concept. And everybody's like, nah, you can't do day party in Kansas. Kansas City people don't want to do that stuff. They don't catch on to that. So I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Because I just do things like that, right? And so I said, let's get a place outside. We're gonna do outside and inside joint. And Kobe came up with an idea, let's do it at Broad Cliff. So we laid it out and run the girls out and introduced them to Kansas City, and man, it just picked up, and the momentum just stay hot. You know what I'm saying?
Do Cliff party,
oh
man.
Oh my goodness. Man. We had great people. We had a great team though. We had videographers, we had photographers, we had the red carpet, we had alcohol sponsors. You know, we did it different than I think a lot of people are doing in Kansas City at the moment. And we brought a different feel and different energy to Kansas City, which a lot of people gravitated to that. So it was cool. Yeah, it was good.
And it was executed well.
Yeah, we did a great job. Yeah. Great team.
Yeah,
that's right.
I love it. So I just want to put out on here, notice, you know, that was the first day party. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Give me a little oxygen for that. They told me it was day parties. You know what I'm saying? But that was the first day party that hit the scene in Kansas City.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? You know, elevated thinking.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay, so Steve, we're going to jump into this other part. I had to get that out the way.
For sure.
I had to, you know, I've been to a few of them day parties, man.
They been to another party.
Yeah, we're doing that monster ball. I mean, the monster party. Halloween. Yeah. October 29th.
I'm getting my look together.
It's coming
together.
But I was
There's Casino. October 29th.
There we go. We're going to get to that. We're going to come back to that.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Yeah, but I was into the first ones. When it first started off, we first jumping, and I said, okay, he got something here.
Yeah.
I know that. So now we're going to get to this segment called Icebreakers. It's a fun question. We'll have a little fun, you know what I'm saying, see what you You know, see the questions you ask.
These been hard. These been hard to
Let's see what you do. You know, now I'm gonna say this. My man went to, Schlagle High School, FL Schlagle.
You look like you went to Schlagle.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know.
It's in my blood.
We don't say that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But these are questions, for a stallion. We'll see.
Oh,
Where you
Yeah,
see where you go. All right. So, first question: what has a face and two hands, but no arms or legs?
It has a face.
What has a face and two hands, but no arms or legs?
A bulldog. No.
I like that.
Come on now, boy.
Hey, it seems like that when we bite now. You know what I'm saying?
Has a. Oh, that's a good one. Watch.
Yeah, your man got your answer.
Teamwork though.
Yeah, this ain't teamwork. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, it's all good. Listen, that's what stallions do. They rely on other people to answer the questions. It's all good.
Let me tell you something. There's answer out there for you to get and you don't grab it. Something wrong with you.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all about resources. It's all about resources.
He keep a team.
I ain't gonna know proud of yourself about resources.
Come on.
He keep a team. Somebody got to pass him the ball, cause he gonna shoot. But he keep a team. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I like that.
I take those chances.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. You're supposed to have
If I'm gonna put it on anybody, I'm gonna put it on myself. I'm betting on myself.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
For sure.
I feel like I don't want to deal with you tonight. Come on, all right. Question number 2. What's greater than God and more evil than the devil? Rich people want it, poor people have it, and if you eat it, you'll die.
I mean, y'all doing crazy.
I'm gonna give you that.
Nothing's greater than God, though. But
So what's your answer?
I mean, I don't have an answer. Nothing's greater than God.
Hey, come
There
on.
you go. You answered that.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Nothing. All right. What is that?
Nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Nothing. Trick questions, huh?
It's just questions.
You
man.
know,
Just have some fun. Just
kinda set
get
me
your
up to
mind
go-
moving. You know what I'm
He
saying?
set me up to throw them curveballs. That's what's happening.
Oh, okay.
Now I set her up to
That's
throw.
what I'm gonna say. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Boy, I thought we was on the same team. Ain't that what she said? I thought we was on the.
Of course.
Now the sudden. No.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what she doing to me. Okay. What can be caught but never thrown?
What could be caught but never thrown?
What can be caught but never thrown?
A cold, right?
hey.
Okay.
Good job, Steve.
on,
That's why I know you can handle
You
it.
gotta put-
That's why we gave these to you. You know.
Okay. That's all right. He didn't come.
Yeah, that's why we gave them to you. Even though he asked me for the test before.
No, I didn't get that from you.
You know how stallions do. You didn't get that test before you.
It's all about the finesse of it all. I'm not. Okay. I start out tall, but the longer I stand, the shorter I grow. What am I? Oh, dang. That was a good one.
You start off tall.
Start out tall, but the longer I stand, the shorter I grow.
This is G-rated. This is G-rated.
Yeah. I don't think it's going hard on that.
I put that out there. It's G-rated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of thought about saying, no, you're not doing that on camera like that.
No, we definitely is G-rated.
No,
Yeah.
this is the even social
Start off tall, but over time you get small.
No, it says start out tall, but the longer I stand, the shorter I grow. What am I?
Oh, okay. Short I grow. Tree. No?
That's a bad answer there.
What is that?
Listen,
What's that?
Listen, I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep
this is
it.
telling you because you're done.
Hey, he said,
But guess what?
He
In the
answered.
family feud, though, you have family members, right? So again, I'm going back to your support team. It's everything.
Nah, but you only get your answer, and you either get an X or you get it right.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got an X on that.
Okay.
That's not up on the board.
Guess what? I miss shots.
It happens. You shoot. You can't make it without missing something.
I miss shots.
I told you, he ain't never seen the shot he didn't like. He shoots
It's okay. I miss shots.
I asked him one time, so when do you start shooting? He said, when I walk in the gym. I said, okay.
That's real.
I mean, you can see the rim.
No, that's
Ain't
real.
mad at you.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
I like
he
that.
need to know what that was, though.
That's a candle. That was a good one.
A candle.
A candle.
Oh, okay.
That was a candle.
Start off tall.
Yeah.
I wish I could
But
see
the longer I stand,
Yeah.
the shorter I grow.
Yeah, but what if the candle's a flat candle?
It still dwindled down. I
Okay,
mean,
okay. I guess it could, yeah.
but
It don't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Where they stand and it's.
I would say the
Alright,
wick
now.
more than I would actually say the candle.
Right,
The wick
right.
make more sense.
Right, right,
But
right.
you know, whatever.
That's what's up.
Moving on.
The wick stayed the same. The candles to what go down. The wick is still there. The candle won't keep going down. So no matter how long the candle go down, you still light the wick.
You know what? This that Soner-ish right there.
I'm just saying. Well, first of all, I didn't go to
He
summer.
didn't go to Soner. He went to
First of all, I didn't go to
Wyandotte.
summer.
He went to Wyandotte.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I didn't go to summer. Now I coached this summer and I got
For a
family
long
at summer.
time.
You know what I'm saying? So I love summer. But I'm a bulldog. I'll never get me misconstrued or nothing. I went to Wyandotte. I graduated from Wyandotte.
Don't worry.
All right. I got a couple more for you, Steve.
Huh?
Bulldog, they try to recruit me for you. I'm sorry.
They trying to recruit you?
For years.
They tried to get me to come to Schlagle for a long time. I told them, nah, I don't want to go to school for a fashion show.
Y'all don't get out of
You know what I'm
here.
saying? I'm trying to go. Anyway, my bad. Did I say that on
Always
camera?
passion.
Yeah,
All right. All right, we got a couple more for you, Steve. What will you actually find at the end of every rainbow?
Gold, right?
I can see why you would say that.
Yeah.
This is we gonna do this like I'm gonna do this with
water.
Steve. I'm gonna do this with Steve Harvey. And Texas.
Well, what is it?
At the end of every rainbow, you gonna find a W.
A W?
Yeah.
Rainbow.
R-A-I-N-B-O-W. Rainbow. Rainbow. It's a W at the end of every rainbow.
Man. I'm gonna help y'all next week with you.
So they didn't teach y'all how to spell.
No, I'm gonna help you next week.
They didn't teach y'all how to spell. It's like,
No, I'm gonna help you.
I'm just saying, we didn't need help. I mean, that's the question.
W?
That's the end. That's the end of every rainbow.
Yo, this one is
It
funny.
is.
Okay, look.
Okay.
Okay, listen. Whatever. Because this question good. I like this. I like this one. Hopefully you get it. Okay. How do you make the number one disappear?
The number one, erase it. Shit. What you talking about?
That's for the street. That's it. That's for the street. You know what I'm saying? I put a hit on it. I put a hit on it.
Y'all childish, man. No. Add a G and it's gone.
I'm gonna help y'all next week. I swear to God, I'm gonna help y'all next week.
You mad because you getting stuff. Hey, when your man told you to watch and you said it, you was cool. Now you ain't getting them. Now you ain't getting them. Now you want to help.
That's not it.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Y'all thought that
I'm just saying.
You thought it was funny, didn't you?
We got one more piece for you.
Put his G and it's gone. Okay.
Let's go. I'm the G. Listen. It's
O-N-E. Put a G. Now spell it out. You know, you went to Schlagle, so I'm gonna spell it O-N-E.
Oh,
Put
the
a
number
G.
one.
Yeah, O-N-E is one.
Right.
Yeah, and
You
then
want
put a
me
G.
to
in
spell it
front.
out, though?
No, I'm just saying that's what it is. Let's make sure you understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes I know.
I mean, I can spell now. You didn't tell me to spell it.
We didn't have to spell it.
No, you said what happens.
Make it hard.
Make it disappear.
I'm just saying. Listen,
You erased it.
hey, you know, first and 10. All right, okay. This is my last question for you. She got one more for you. I'm gonna skip that one. I'm not even gonna get to that one because you're not gonna get. I know you're not gonna get that one.
Oh, whoa.
So I'm gonna go to this one here.
You see how you play? Because you don't want that one?
I mean, it's
Nah, he
okay.
don't want that one because he ain't gonna get that one. So I'm gonna give him this
Here's
one.
the key though. I don't need to get anything.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm just answering questions.
that's it. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna just ask you this question because you have a better chance of understanding this one.
For sure.
Yes, I mean,
Yeah.
Thanks to me, you can see straight through a wall. Whatever.
Thanks to me, you can see straight through a wall. When am I? Thanks to you. You?
The question is, thanks to me, you can see straight through a wall. Whatever.
A hole, look like.
yes.
Hey, now
Yes.
Steve, that was a good answer. That's why I said I shot this one too, because I knew being a developer, you know what I'm saying, this would be closer up to what you would be thinking of. You know what I'm saying? But you don't put a hole in the wall. You put a what in the wall?
What do you put on? What'd you do?
What's in the hole in the wall when you
A
build
nail?
a house?
What, nail?
When you build a house and you put a hole in the wall, what do you put in it?
A window.
Okay. There we go. The window.
Okay.
Yes, I knew that was more on the line of, with the developing.
I'm
So I knew
ready
that was
to
more
fix
involved.
my eye makeup. Okay?
You need to break the fix your eye makeup. Okay.
Childish, okay.
Well, we're gonna
Anyway.
get close to that.
Which weighs more, a pound of feathers or a pound of bricks?
Y'all crazy.
Which weighs more, a pound of
It was
feathers
a pound,
or
right?
Hey, come on.
Come on, Steve.
Come on.
I mean, what the hell is that? Oh, okay.
Pound is a pound.
I might need to help you out with that.
Come on, man.
First of all, don't come for us like
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Nobody
You
don't
know.
care if we sitting up in here on your couch.
Oh, you better.
I'm just saying.
You better sit down.
You didn't get a couple. When your man, I gotta go back.
Oh, no.
When your man gave you the answer, you was all good, and then when he hit you with the clock, you was all good.
I'm still
When
out
he
good.
stopped giving you the answer, when he got stumped, you like, oh, I need to help with the questions.
No.
Listen, you gonna
I'm
sit
still
down.
Well, I mean, yeah, you Hollywood hooks. You gonna be good.
The key is that I'm still answering questions.
Yeah, that's just fun,
You know what
anyway.
I'm saying? No, for sure. I'm still shooting.
There's nothing wrong with missing.
That's it.
You know?
That's it.
Yeah, I just saying you miss several shots and keep shooting and then
That's
start
right.
making.
That's right.
It happens. So that's just part of the game. All right, let's move on to our next segment. And that segment there was brought to you by Drip Ultra Pure Water. You know what I'm saying?
Drip, drip.
Yeah.
I thought he should coin it if he could.
Now,
It's tough.
I'm gonna ask you something before we go on to this break. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions talking about growing up. So where were you born?
KCK. Kansas City, Kansas.
Wanda.
Wyandotte County.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, say
I had
that.
to, I got to make sure that's there.
The die.
You know, that's the dot. You
Good
know,
dot.
dot boys in the house.
Good dot.
Just want to make sure
Hey.
we put that out there. All right. Now,
Straight up.
give me what can you think back? Give me like a highlight of your childhood. Give me a highlight of your childhood.
Highlight of my childhood.
Yeah, something you just think back like the other side.
Man, I tell you what. One of the good things I liked about my childhood, like they had this place down on 12th Street, 12th and Parallel. 12th and Parallel. And they had this casket company, right? And we used to run and jump these caskets and run all the way from 10th to 13th Street on these caskets, hide these caskets. So that was like a thing that we used to do as a kid. So and sports is my deal. So
Yeah.
football, baseball, basketball. If I was doing anything of that, then that's what I love to do. So good memories about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like as a kid you had a lot of the qualities that you have now?
Oh no.
No? I don't know why I thought that.
No. Why would you? No. We
I just
didn't have the same things
I feel like
that we have now.
as a kid sometimes you have the same qualities, they just not developed. Like I feel like you were this person your entire life.
Oh,
Yes.
I can say I had glimpses of that.
Characteristics,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I can say that I was born the way I am. I think I've always been a person that was very determined and competitive
Yeah.
from out the gate. Yeah. I
Okay.
think, yeah.
I don't even know why that crossed my mind, but I just,
I was born like this.
yeah, you look like, I mean,
Like
listen, the
this.
vibe was like that.
See, let's talk a little bit about this small bit. You know what I'm saying about your family. Talk about your relationship with your mom and dad, but let's start with relationship with your mom.
I mean, relationship with my mom that's my heart. That's my queen. That's my.
Let me pull the mic a little closer to you.
Sure. My heart, my queen, my inspiration, my strength, my determination, my ability, my confidence. You can say that my mom was everything, and still to this day is that person in my life. You know what I'm saying? So. You say mom, she's everything you can ever think about and imagine. That's who she is for me. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Yeah, for real.
I love it. Let's talk about, because I'm gonna table that, because I'm also gonna talk about, because I think there's something to talk about because of that. You know, does that play a role in how you treat women today?
I mean, I think it does. It has a factor in that. I think you know, seeing my mom, my grandmother, you know, raising boys. They all raised boys, and so just understanding how they wanted to be treated and how they treated us was the respect level of that. So yeah, I think that comes a lot with, you know, your childhood and what they inbred in you.
I was thinking that I wouldn't know.
Yeah. What's that?
No, I was thinking that. I didn't want to ask it.
Yeah, real talk. So, yeah. So definitely, that's how I view that as, you know.
I used to always say that if a man doesn't know how to treat his mother, if he disrespectful to his mama, it ain't no way.
Yeah.
It's no way that he can be respectful.
But my mom's up here, so you know.
Yeah.
The ladies in my lives are all up there, you know what I'm saying? So from my wife to my daughters and to my aunties and you know all the women in my life. So my sister, so those are women in power for me. So
I love it.
True.
This is why you're great.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So let's just talk a little bit about your dad, your relationship with your dad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, I didn't grow up with my dad.
Okay.
But my relationship with my dad now is good. You know, we are still developing father and son relationship, which is, you know, inspiring. So looking forward to that. My dad actually just moved back. We just moved my dad back, so he's dealing with some illness. But still, that's my dad. I love him, and I know what I have in me is, you know, he's put that in me. So, but yeah, we're still developing that, and it's.
When did you reunite with him?
Well, I mean, actually, my mom and him were married. I think I was in the third grade. I was going to Chelsea at the time. So in third grade, my mom got divorced, and then my whole childhood from there all the way into my graduation. I met back up when it came to my graduation, and then
Just high school?
High school graduation,
Okay.
yeah. And so all those, you know, in between that, I never see him and stuff. But I have family members that kept us engaged. You know, you guys know a couple of my cousins, but because of them, we're engaged into the hook side, and which got me more familiar with my roots and my hooks background and stuff. But other than that, it was just I didn't have a father. I just kind of had my uncle, and I learned and developed stuff from I played sports. So I'm the little kid that goes to the court, the football field, and the baseball field, and I play with grown men, right? So I always played with people older. So I learned, I guess, the fatherhood or manhood from I call them OGs, right? Mm-hmm. So just kind of I built on that. I just competed and I looked and I learned and I kind of developed who I am today through those kind of people, for real. Yeah, for real.
It's a blessing.
I love that, Steve. One thing I love it is because some of our audience are younger, and they don't have a traditional looking house.
For sure.
And so for them to be able to see someone who didn't have some of the same things they don't have,
for sure,
and be successful, but then understand the fact that I'm still working on that now as I get older in this relationship. It's not lost.
Oh, never.
It still can be done. I love
it's just about effort, right? It's about what you want to put into anything, right?
Yes.
So if you want to put effort into learn or develop any kind of relationship or anything that you want to accomplish in your life, you got to put the effort in. And I tell my kids all the time, and I say that, you know, people are always going to remember you about your effort, right? Yeah. Your energy level, right? So if you go into things that if you don't have the right energy and mindset to do things, people they'll forget you. But if you come in with a great mindset, energy, people remember those things, right? They remember the determination, remember those kind of work ethics and stuff. So, if you want to leave a good impression, that's what it is to me. It's just about your effort.
Was your dad the first one to reach out to mend the relationship?
No, actually, it was my cousin. It was my cousin and his sister, and my uncle. Most of his brothers and sisters did. At the time, I don't want to go into, but at the time, my dad was dealing with some things that unfortunately kept him away from me and my brother, and so those things happen to people, and now he's a saved man, and he's reestablished, and so he's in a different path, and so those relationships that we're developing now are better now because now clear minds, forgiveness, and love has always been there. So that's where.
Love it. Yeah. Now you brought it up just a little bit, so let's talk just a little bit about your siblings, your relationship with your siblings. How many siblings do you have?
I have 2 brothers and 1 sister.
2 brothers and 1 sister.
And I got a half brother and a half sister, and then my younger brother's my full-blooded brother. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what that puts you in? I mean, I know.
I'm the oldest in the household.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're the oldest, and you have younger siblings.
I have 1 younger brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My older brother and sister are step brothers and sister from my dad's previous marriage before he married.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. So how would you describe your relationship with your brother, with your sister?
My brothers and sisters, we great. I mean, we it's funny. Let me go back. This is my older brother that kind of reached out and built a relationship up. Yeah, he was actually a UPS driver, and I stayed off Quindaro, and he's from Missouri, but he was the driver. So I guess somebody was telling him, like, man, I said, God, it looks just like you. Over here, I always be playing basketball. You might catch him on his basketball court. And ended up finding who I was, and so then we reconnected, and he just kind of used to come get me and my brother, and just kind of build a relationship.
How much older than you?
He's 7 years older than me. Yeah.
Okay. Considerable enough, yeah.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you allowing us to talk just a little bit about your family. One more question before we go to this break. Talk a little bit about your grandparents, the role they played in molding you to who you are today. Well,
I only remember one grandparent,
okay,
and that's my grandma Loomis. That's where, that's my mom's mom. So it's kind of like, she was a strength for the family. Like you always had this grandmother that keeps everything together. Always, you can always go to grandma's house. She always have food. She always have solutions, and grandma was the kind of person that I remember. She was always so tough too, right? So back in my day, people street guys, right? So people used to hustle out there in the street on the blocks, right? And my grandma had this pretty yard. She always liked being in the yard. And I remember these guys were parking on part of her yard, but I'm just sitting in front. She's like, I don't want nobody parking in front of my house. And so the house next to her was a house. It was one of those spots, right? And so I remember, and so I knew these guys too, because people knew from sports and stuff. And I guess I was down the basketball, and they said, "Man, Hooks, man, your grandma be tripping, man." I said, "What you mean?" He said, "Man, she put a gun out on us, man. So we need to get outside in the house, man." He said, "Man, can you scare everybody? Everybody else scare your grandma, man. But can you tell her that we chill? I'm gonna make sure ain't nothing gonna happen to her." And so I said, so I went to my grandma. She's like, "Steve," I told her, I said, these guys, they said it. They sorry, but they don't want you pulling guns on them. It could be dangerous. She's like, I don't give a hell what they're talking about. She said, I got a couple bullets for all of them. So I just feel like my grandma was just she was just so she didn't care. I mean, I remember when we was little. This is so funny. We went to Mississippi. From Mississippi. My grandma's from Mississippi, Grenada, Mississippi, and her sister was having problems with her husband, right? But I'm a little kid, so I don't know what the play is, right? So we go down there as a family reunion. As soon as we get there, I just see my grandma just get out of the car, start running to the fence. And the dude met her at the fence, my auntie's, her sister's husband, and he's like, "You come across this fence, it's gonna be different, Lula." So she said, "Oh, okay," and she hurled the fence. She's like, "Oh, it's on." I was like, "Oh, but it's crazy. It's like she didn't back down from nobody, and she like a little thing too, right? So it's like crazy, very feisty, but yeah, so it's cool, childhood stuff.
So what would you say you took from her the most?
Work ethic. Yeah, work ethic. Yeah, she worked 2 or 3 jobs. She was always doing something, you know what I'm saying? Always working on something, always doing something in the yard, always doing something. Just that she always would wake up in the morning and she wouldn't stop to the evening time. So it was kind of like her work ethic was very rememberable. You know, I remember that definitely about her.
You had some strong women around you.
Man, for real.
Oh,
And prayers, you know. And prayers, you know, they pray for me a lot, so I know that.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to sit back as we take a break and recognize some of our partnerships before we have a live performance by Neco The Artist. All right, so we can't forget our partners. Tonight's episode is brought to you in part by Wilson's Pizza and Grill, Henderson Entertainment, New Wall Street, and Jegna Klub TV. Our venue partner is the elegant 1739 Gallery. Yes, where they cater to all your event space needs. Our brand partnerships are Brainiac 91. You know, I gotta throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? This lovely, you know what I'm saying, red, you know what I'm saying, hoodie with the black signature. You know, I think she looks great in red. You know, red drop heads. You know, even though she don't wear red, but it's cool. You know, that ain't her color.
Something special for people tonight.
I love it, you know what I'm saying? That's okay. I love it. Then T-Money, make sure you get a picture of this. You know, she didn't want a picture, but I do. You know what I'm saying? Get a picture of this Truth apparel. You know, I'm rolling with the Truth.
Okay, wait, okay, let me...
No. It's too late. We moving on. Hey, you see, you get that motion. You see what I'm saying? Now, just straight out the vault. She out the vault. She been going every week we here. You know what I'm saying? Every week we here, T-Money. She know. Now what's up? I'm happy for you too. You got that exclusive. That ain't out yet. That's that exclusive. If you want one of them, holler at Brainiac 91. You know what I'm saying? There it is. It's
Come
out
on,
there.
baby. She know what it is. I done already sent her pictures to you. This.
I know.
Her now.
You understand? Now, we also drip ultra pure water, Sweeties Teas, Sleek Vodka, Confidence 71, Wavy by PLG, the grocery store, and Heartland 180. Alright? Now, sit back as Neco The Artist hit y'all with some of that feel-good music. Alright? We'll be right back with Neco The Artist.
Tonight's episode was brought to you in part by Wilson's Pizza and Grill and Jegna Klub TV. Our Facebook Live broadcast was brought to you in part by New Wall Street. Our musical guests are brought to you in part by Henderson Entertainment. Our live audience giveaways are brought to you in part by The Royals. Our venue partner is the elegant 1739 Gallery. Our clothing partners are Truth, The Reason, and Brainiac 91. Our beverage partners are Drip Ultra Pure Water and Sweeties Teas.
I'm tired of lying. I'm tired of believing a lie. I'm tired of walking in a lie. I'm tired of being a lie. Let's go. I cried. Many a nights I cried. I'm not listening to no more lies. I'm not listening to no more lies. I cried. Many a nights I cried. I'm not listening to no more lies. I'm not listening to no more lies. Satan was telling me lies. Heaven thinking I was justified. Sleeping with a married man. Life filled up with every sin. No more lies. No more lies. Our darkness is brought to his light. No more lies. No more lies. Our darkness is brought to his light. I cried. Many a nights I cried. I'm not listening to no more lies. I'm not listening to no more lies. Satan was telling me lies. Had me thinking I was justified. Smoking and drinking and freaking. Whole time I was trying to witness. No more lies, no more lies. Our darkness is brought to its light. No more lies, no more lies. Our darkness is brought to its light. I cried. Many a nights I cried. I'm not listening to no more lies. I'm not listening to no more lies. Satan was telling me lies. Had me thinking I was justified. Debating and lying and hating. Facade so big I could wait. No more lies, no more lies. Our darkness is brought to its light. No more lies, no more lies. Our darkness is brought to its light. I cried. Many a night I cried. I'm not listening to no more lies. Not listening to no more lies. I cried. Many a night I cried. I'm not listening to no more lies. I'm not listening to no more lies. Satan was telling me lies. Had me thinking I was justified. Satan was telling me lies. Had me thinking I was justified. Satan was telling me lies. Had me thinking I was justified. No more lies, no more lies. Our darkness is brought to its light. No more lies, no more lies. Our darkness is brought to its light. I cried. Many a nights I cried. I'm not listening to no more lies. I'm not listening to no more lies. I cried. Many a nights I cried. I'm not listening to no more lies. I'm not listening to no more lies. Forgiveness. You know, God tells us to forgive so that we can be forgiven. I think the biggest trick is that we don't even think we need forgiveness because we think that we do everything righteously, we do everything right, that God is so gracious that He gonna keep on looking over the lies that we tell to ourselves. Stop believing them lies. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know what I'm saying? No more lies. No more lies. No more lies, no more lies. Our darkness is brought to its light. No more lies, no more lies. Our darkness is brought to its light. Have you been forgiven? Because I've been forgiven. You know what I'm saying? Had to deal with me. No more lies. Forgiven. Hey.
Man, and we're back. What a performance by Neco The Artist, man.
Man, that was exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah.
Man.
I
That
love
was great.
Neco.
And guess what? We got one more coming up at the end.
Oh, she's tough.
Yeah,
I
so
love
she is.
Neco.
I like
You
that.
got that.
Yeah.
Got
So-
those vocals.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are here.
Really, it's the lyrics.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, it
Vocals
is.
and the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit. Let's move it to another. We back with, you know what I'm saying, my man Steve Hooks. First, Steve, let me take this opportunity to do something that we do here on this show. Now, our show is about giving oxygen. And we're not knocking anybody with flowers, but we give oxygen. And what we want to do is breathe life into the things that you are doing, and give big ups and big love for that, because you're accomplishing great things, and it's things that need to be, put out there, because our youth need to understand that they can aspire to be who and what they want to be, and there's people who look like them that are doing these things. And so if you all out here would please, join me in giving a round of applause, of oxygen for Steve for his accomplishment. Yeah. So let's just, I'm going to kind of backtrack just a little bit, and we're going to kind of go back. So you're in school. We talked about you're in high school. So let's talk about your senior year. You're in high school. Do you know where you're going when your senior year starts? Do you know where you're going? How do you choose the college that you go to?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. We talk about resources, right? All I knew that I was getting these letters from KU. Larry Brown was coming to my games. K-State, all these Big 8 at the time. Big 8 was seeing, and some D2 schools. I didn't go to camps though, right? But didn't know really how to pursue that, right? And not knocking on head coach, it's just that wasn't something he specialized in, on how to engage that situation. So it was just kind of like, I'm getting these letters, I'm getting these conversations, but how do I get myself prepared to go to that next level? I'm prepared to be a choice for them, right? Because it's a part on my side that I needed to do. Now, as being older, now having kids, it was a part on the school side, coach's side, and the parent side to help develop those kids to be a prospect for those colleges, right? But we didn't have resources in it, and no one taught us that. I didn't take the ACT until my senior year, and it was the last day to take it before I go to college, right? So I had no preparation for that, and so I just took it based off just my knowledge of that, right? My GPA was fair, I had 3.0, but my ACT kept me from going to D1, right? So then I took the junior college route, because I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay around here in Kansas City. But it was so funny, I had a good friend that went to Wyandotte, because I had a lot of friends from Wyandotte. We all decided to go to Highland. So I went up to Highland so it was like three of us. We go to Highland, we was off in Wyandotte County, and we kind of like, we gonna say we're gonna just make this a grand team. We're just gonna go out and just destroy people, right? And man, I got up there, and it was like this little hick town, right? It was a town where if you drive 20 miles an hour, you miss it, right? That's how it was kind of crazy, right? Yeah. But we stayed there for a week, and we kind of worked out. And then one day I just said, I don't know if I could do Highland, right?
I know you can.
And I called Dan Pratt, which is a coach at KCK. I called him on the phone. And I called my mom and said, Mom, I'm not doing this. I'm gonna come back home. She said, well, where you gonna go to school? You can't just drive to school. You gotta go to school somewhere. I said, I want you to take a letter. I'll tell you what to write on this letter. I want you to go to Pratt's house, drop this letter off at Dan Pratt's house, and I'm waiting for him to call. And so she did it that night for me. My mom did. He called me and he said, Steve, I would love for you to come and play with me. I always choose KCK players, but a lot of players don't want to play for me. And I was like, well, man. So anyway, I get there. I come back. I get there, man. It's about 60 basketball players trying out for KCK. It's like a whole bunch of people there. People from Missouri, Hillman, all them was there. Gump and all them was still there and stuff. Country, so it was a lot of people that we knew and stuff, or older than me and stuff. I just remember coming in there. I said, "Man, none of these dudes my friend though. I'm going in here. I'm going to compete." And because I thought I was already behind, because they already been working out for 3 or 4 weeks, and I said, "I just got to go in there and compete." And so, anyway, I do what I do, and next thing I know, I got to start a position, I'm the one with the scholarship, and a lot of people are upset with me, but I don't care about people getting upset. But anyway, that's kind of, I started KCK, and then that's where I was at. I don't know if you want me to continue.
No, that's good. I like it, because that wasn't your first choice.
Yeah.
But it is what what you end up doing, and you make it fit to what you need.
Yeah.
So at KCK, and I'm bringing this out because it's going to show what you do now too.
Sure.
So at KCK, your degree was in economics, right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. So you take an economics class. Now how did that come? Is that just something that?
Well, I always loved math, right?
Okay.
So I thought I was going to be an accountant if I didn't do basketball, right? And so So I started taking classes that I thought was going to develop me to be ready, prepared for that. And so math was always my subject, my thing. And so I took that thinking that was going to just develop me. But it's just so funny that you don't use none of that stuff you learn in college, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right? It's just tools that you have, and really it's all about the resources and relationships that you create, right? That continues to keep pushing you. Yeah.
When
Now-
you learn that?
Huh?
When you learn that?
Learn what?
That it's all about the relationships that you build.
I'm gonna tell you that when we go further.
You are? Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, from KCK, your sophomore year,
Yep.
how does McNeese State get into this? Like, where does
Man, that's crazy, right? It's all about opportunities, right?
Uh-huh.
Seizing the moment, right?
Yeah.
So we got this, we playing Neo show, and Neo show, McNeese State's coaches are there to see a guy that's from Louisiana that plays there as a point guard, and he came to see him play, and I think that game, I just kind of went ridiculously off, though. It was kind of like ridiculous. It's all about seizing the moment, right? I think I had like 10 threes. I think I had like 30-some points, but it's like, man, where's this left-hand kid coming at 6'2"? Like, we never seen him before. And I just remember Pratt called me the next day, like, man, I got these college coaches calling me. What you want to do? You trying to go all the way down south to Texas? I was like, well, it depends on where it's at. So they gave me these names, and I was like, McNeese, I think my boy go down. So Rico Golson was already playing baseball down there, which he was from Schlagle, played basketball with me. His little brother Willie, so he was already playing baseball. So I said, oh, go check him out, see what's going on. And Joe Dumars went to the school, so he's like telling me this is what Joe Dumars, he's coming to work out with you, and and I was like, man, maybe this is my way into the NBA. So that's kind of why I took that ride. I went to San Antonio, Texas, University of Texas, San Antonio, a couple of visits in Texas, and decided to go to McNeese because I was familiar because of Rico. So we ended up being roommates down there and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So you're there for 2 years.
Yeah, I was there for one.
For 1 year.
Yep.
You're there for 1 year.
Yep.
Okay.
There for 1 year. I had a son in between this. That's Big Steve. Well, little Steve, actually. My son. And I was just, it was like he was at Kansas City, I was in Louisiana. His mom was doing this by herself. And it just kind of reminded me of what my mom went through, right? And so I was kind of like, man, I don't know if I'm going to the NBA. She don't want to go overseas. I had a couple overseas offers and stuff, and so she's like, she didn't want to go over there. And I really wanted to be with my son. I wanted to be the role model I thought that I wanted to be. Like, I wanted to be with my kid. I wanted to raise my kid in the same household. And so I chose to go into, my mom's working for the government, and they had a GSA program, which is a air traffic control program that I applied for. I ended up getting it. Man, but I tell you, when I came back home, it was just like, it was kind of like not the greatest move, because when I came back home, it was just like all my friends were still doing the same stuff, and my focus was not that job, so it wasn't the focus, and so I just became kind of the victim of my surroundings, and then that's when I kind of got sidetracked a little bit, like we all do, and so, but got sidetracked, and then got married, and then from there got divorced, and then that's the moment that changed my life, though. Because at the time you're older, you have kids. I bought my first house when I was 20, 21, 22. Bought my first piece of real estate, and it was just that going through the divorce, dealing with stuff you shouldn't have to deal with as a young adult, but you're still trying to be positive and still do the right thing. And I found myself like, because I'm so. At the time, I had a bad temper, right? So my temper was really bad, and so when I don't agree with something, I think it's disrespect, and so then I at that time I had anger issues, right? And so either I was going to hurt somebody's going to hurt me in the process, and so I decided to take my journey, man, to the ATL. You know what I'm saying? I met a girl that was here in grad school, and we decided to, in the midst of that. I had a friend in Tennessee, so the Tennessee-Atlanta thing, I just said, let me just get away from Kansas City, let me regroup. And at that time, I had to leave my kids. I had 2 kids at that time, and I had to leave them. But I figured that if I couldn't find happiness myself, then I couldn't make somebody else happy, right? So that was my deal. And I remember somebody telling me that in church, it's like, you you gotta be happy yourself before you can make other people happy. And same thing with love. You gotta love yourself before you can love someone else, right? And so I needed to get away from my environment, which my environment I felt was sucking me in, right? And so went to the ATL, and man, it had so much energy in the ATL, right? And I started plugging in with people because I'm not scared to go talk to people. Plugging in, I had a couple of friends down there, from the doc, plugged me into people and started building relationships, and from there, man, I settled in. You know what I'm saying? I took the first job that offer came to me, and I said I'm just gonna settle in and gonna start from the ground up, and that's kind of what I did. You know what I'm saying? Start from the ground up, but I got introduced to people that are really on a different mindset than I was used to, right? And so from New York to Miami to just foreigners and stuff, it was just LA. It was just kind of they were on a different mindset, and they say we a little slower, and we were, based off what I experienced in the ATL, and so I learned a lot, man. I built some great relationships, and to this day I still have those relationships. Same thing in Houston and Texas. Like all my out-of-state people are people that 30 years strong in my relationships, and so that's why I say relationships are very important, because you never know how those relationships pan out to be for you, right? So yeah.
So what was your first piece of real estate?
My own home.
Your own home?
My own home, yep. I bought a home, and actually it was so funny, back then they were doing, what was the terminology? Because they don't do it no more. There's like assume a loan. You can assume a house, right?
Uh-huh.
And back then they had these banks that had these people in these houses, but people can, if you want to buy their house, if you don't qualify, you can assume their loan and just transfer over into your name. And so that's how I got my first real estate, by assuming that loan. And while I was in ATL, I still had this property, right? I had my cousin renting it out at the time, and didn't know that was part of the game. I was just like renting it out to him, right? Just make the payment, right? But over the 2 or 3 years period, he wanted to get out. I was going to sell it to him. He didn't want to buy it because he said he didn't want to pay that much money. But anyway, and I ended up selling it, man, in 30 days. And man, I made about 40 grand on it. I was like, man, hold on. This I could do this? And so that's kind of how I got jumped into real estate. I just said, man, I'm gonna see how I can empower people. And I came back home. My grandmother was sick at the time. I came back home and said, I'm gonna get in real estate. I don't know why I was doing that. That's crazy.
So from
I
that
felt it
real
doing
estate
it too.
at that time, you
I was
in
doing
Atlanta let's talk a little bit about, and I know I'm moving kind of fast, but I'm on the jump because I want to get into some, move it up. So you get into real estate, you're starting there. Let's get into, how did you get really into like developing real estate and the loans and were you an underwriter or were you?
No, I was a broker. I don't know what's.
Broker.
Yeah, I don't know.
Broker?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
talk about.
I became a loan officer
so
first.
people can understand.
Yeah, I became a loan officer first.
Okay.
So when I was in Atlanta, I had a good friend that was in the mortgage with his dad, and when I came back, he was telling me how this would be a great business. He's like, Steve, you'd be good at this, and because you know people, you're social and stuff like that, and people respect what you say. So I kind of came back to Kansas City, got introduced to doing loans, and like I told you, my mom worked for the government. My grandmother at the time in our family was the only person that owned a home, right? And so my mom had been working in the government for 20-something years plus at that time, and she didn't own her home, but she made good money, right? And I asked her when I first, I said, well, why you never own a home? She said, Steve, I tried so many times, I could never own a home. And so at that moment, I was like, okay, just like my mom, there's other people in our community that doesn't understand leveraging the credit, right? Mm-hmm. Real estate ownership, home ownership. And so I just said, maybe this is my purpose. Because I was really trying to find my purpose of what I was supposed to be doing for the masses of people, right? And so I got into loans, right? And I got into educating people about credit, right? And so that empowerment started. And I said, okay, this was I'm supposed to be empowering people, because if I keep on empowering people, that's going to build my wealth, right? And that's what just happened. It just kind of like happened by me staying on that mindset of I'm going to help people, right? I'm going to service people. I'm going to get people involved. I'm going to educate people on how to use their credit, how to empower themselves with home ownership, and how that can set them up for retirement. So that's kind of what I did. I helped my mom buy her first house, where she built it from the ground up, which is a blessing. I did a lot of things for my uncle. Got him his first house. So and then a lot of people in our community.
Was this as a loan officer, or had you transitioned to a broker by then?
My mom, I was a broker by then. Yeah,
Okay,
one
yeah.
mom. Yeah. So I was only a loan officer for 14 months.
Right.
Yeah, and I just said, I'm gonna just do it my own. I had a lot of people at the banks that
Explain the difference.
Okay.
Loan officer, broker. Like explain the
Okay.
difference so
Right.
people know.
yeah, a loan officer is someone that has a broker that oversees their loans, that holds a license, that holds the insurance, that manages and manages the office and the loan officers that are underneath it. The loan officer goes out and get the loan and deals with the client, writes the paperwork up, and then it's submitted into underwriting, that kind of deal. The broker just kind of managing
The money.
manage the broker shop, make sure everybody's in
Yeah.
compliance and things of that nature.
Okay.
So you're the most responsible person that's responsible for everybody, pretty much. But at the time, so when my mom bought a house, I was actually a broker because I decided I didn't want to be working for anybody, and I felt that I was strong enough mentally to take on that challenge, right? So that's kind of what I did, and I just said I was going to empower people like me that come from where I came from, that didn't have education, that still wanted to make the kind of money that they dreamed about making, right? And I knew real estate got me there very quickly, and I said I wanted to show people how to do that. And so that was my game plan. I said I'm trying to make my first goal was like I'm trying to make 10 people to make 6 figures. I'm gonna develop 10 people that make 6 figures, right? It went from 10 people to 40 people. Then 40 people went to 100 people. Then 100 people went to 200 people. So then I had locations in D.C., in California, Arizona, in Texas, Baltimore. Where else we have one? And so it just kind of grew, right? And
You
so
talking about your brokerages?
yeah, it just kind of grew because I was partnered with people that were already in those states that were still looking for another opportunity, that were loan officers, right?
Yeah.
And so just traveling and building the relationships, right? And empowering them, then showing them how this is how I was doing it. You can do it too. And so it's kind of like I empowered them to be brokers, which they really was underneath me. And so I had a certain location.
That's wild.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that. So I call it going wide, right? Just going wide and duplicating my thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. And this is an unusual question, but I'm gonna ask you this. So in one of your real estate development deals, I'm not asking you about what you made, but I'm asking you is what was, say, one of the biggest sizes of the deals that you have been involved in?
Profit wise or dollar wise?
Just dollar wise, just period. I'm not asking about profit. I'm just talking about the size of a deal that you've been involved in, total, what I'm saying, deal.
I mean, I have several deals that have been over 75 million. I have deals, I have a couple deals over 100 million. I have a lot of deals between 1 and 5 million that have been done. And then a million deals, 1,000 deals that are underneath that. So,
Right. So I'm asking that, this is why I'm asking. I'm asking that so that our listeners, especially our youth, can understand the type of numbers that are involved in this type of business, and somebody that looks like them are dealing with these numbers. So it has to be real to them.
For sure.
And so, I know we've talked, but I want them to understand, hey, this is the type of numbers that we're talking about. And this is not per se, a person who looks like the 1% on TV.
I got you. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
For sure.
But you're dealing with numbers really more than these people on TV are dealing with in the business.
In some magnitudes, I am. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
Or playing at the same table, or sitting at the same tables. You did.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm asking that.
Yeah.
So they can understand that there are people that's being as successful dealing with things and it looks different than that 1% on TV and videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is another one of those careers too where you don't have to have a college degree.
Right.
You really don't even have to have a diploma to do it.
You do have to have a diploma.
You do?
High school diploma.
Okay.
But as far as a degree, you do not have to have that.
Yeah.
I mean, they give you enough training and education to qualify for a loan officer, and then 2 or 3 years of being a loan officer, you can then qualify for state for brokership. So
Depending on the state you're in, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's just a process for application and surety bond, things of that nature. Just requirements, like any application process.
I love that.
See, a lot of times people try to discourage you from the process, right? Because in fear of that, you might surpass them or do better than what they do. And it's just like empower people, because if you empower people, you never know what happens, right? And that goes into a story like, I was in Houston. I thought I was retiring, and the market crashed in 08, 09, right? But there was some young guys that kind of through my alumni at McNeese, a guy introduced me to some guys there in Houston that was looking to be realtors, but I was a loan officer. I was a broker at that time. and the market crashed, and these guys were kind of like in U of A, so he's in college, and they used to like just call me all the time, right? And I was like, man, why these dudes keep calling me, man? What's up with these dudes? But I used to sit down with them. I used to take them to dinner, and say, I want you to be a mentor. I was like, man, I can't mentor nobody. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna stay alive out here, right? And so anyway, one of the guys just like, you ain't gotta do nothing for me. I just want to be with you when you go places. So I said, okay, so what are you offering me? But he was also a security guy, and so at that time he had all the insides of all the bars and clubs and strip clubs and stuff. And so I was like, man, the market was crashing, and at that time I was like, I need to find ways to make money. And so I hooked up with a guy that had an ATM business. So I bought ATMs and he helped me place all these ATMs in these different clubs. So then and now I'm in the ATM business, right? I'm getting my cash flow back, and so anyway, me and him going back and forth to Dallas, and to speed things forward, it's so funny. These guys are graduated right now, right? They're still business partners of mine. They big developers. They own compound pharmacies across the country, and they're like one of my biggest equity investors to this day. So I'm just saying how relationships are come back and forth, right? Mm-hmm. And so they kind of like call them my little brothers, but they are also my business partners too. So it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So now let's move forward a little bit. Let's talk about some of the things that you're doing now.
For sure.
Let's talk about now. One of the things I want to talk just briefly a little bit about. I know that you doing some developing. Mm-hmm. You had some developing that in Wyandotte County you want to do the Northeast end, and you presented to the UG Commission. Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit about that. How did that go?
Actually, the experience was great.
Okay.
The relationships over there, you know, that's where we come from, and so they have some challenges over there. I think that once they understand that we're all here to help, right, and that we all have the same passion that I feel the mayor has. The mayor has a big passion of what his community should look like and feel like, right? Mm-hmm. And I think he's trying to express that to masses of people. And, you know, sometimes it's unfortunate that some people don't understand what the total goal is, right? And I think right now, unified government is just, you know, dealing with those things, and he's trying to weed through those situations. But overall, it's a lot of resources. I got a lot of friends that are trying to come to unified government, to Wyandotte County, to develop. They have their own money, their own resources, and I think once they understand that that we are here and we're going to be here, still waiting on the process, right? That we're ready to go. And I think once they understand and weed all that stuff out, that we're able to help the community and develop that community over there. Yeah.
That's good. I think a lot of times people don't understand that when you do come with a proposal like development, a lot of times you have to have your own money.
Oh,
you know,
you gotta have a little bit.
No, I ain't say a little bit. I said you have to have your own. Yeah,
you gotta have a little bit.
Well, yeah. Okay. So now, with that being said, I want to talk about some of the things that you got coming up. We talked a little bit about before. I know you got the party coming. You still doing
the Halloween?
The HBS.
HBS.
You know what I'm saying? So talk about that. Where is it? Where is it going to be?
It's going to be at the Harris Casino, Voodoo Lounge. There in Harris Casino.
So you done moved from the Trashmont, you moved from
Radcliffe.
We're elevating right now.
Elevate, okay. I just wanted to hear that. Elevate. Okay, so you're the Voodoo
Casino Lounge. That'll be October 29th. The doors open at 7. We're going to 2 o'clock in the morning. So we have 2 DJs. We have DJ Hayden, which is a DJ that does the Royals and the Chiefs game, but I guess he's a celebrity DJ that goes across the country. And then we have our famous Wyandotte County Hobo Tone that will also be DJing there. So it's going to be a diverse situation. I think it's going to be great. I think right now we have sold out all seats and tables, and now we are looking for general admission. So we up.
How do they get general admission?
How did you? Eventbrite. We're on every social media platform.
Okay.
And so we also have some ticket outlets, and you can get that off of our social media platforms and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Now let's talk about something else. Now I got to bring this up because I was there this weekend, man, and I love the vibe, I love the look and everything. Tell them about, you know what I'm saying, Connect.
Oh, Connect.
Let's talk about that, man. The vibe was off the chain.
Yeah, that's crazy views, right?
Yeah, crazy views.
Crazy views, man. Man, it was God's plan, right? And so another Wyandotte County I call him my little brother, but now he's a grown man. And Joe Black, and we came together. And he's a 5-time Grammy Award winner, artist, producer, and I feel like he creates a vibe for a lot of music around here in the city.
He do.
And so
He definitely
it
bring a
was
vibe.
just like God just kept leading me to this guy, right? And every time I think of these different ideas of how I wanted to provide some entertainment to Kansas City, he always kept running in my head. And it's so crazy. I'm sitting out with a girl at this restaurant on 18th and Vine, and she's talking about and she's from Houston. She's like, so what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? I said, man, really what I want to do is do live music with this venue, man. But I got a friend of mine that I really want to get at. I think he'd be good to partner up with. And she said, who? I said, his name is Joe Black. As soon as I said Joe Black, right, we outside. Joe Black drives up and parks his car right in front of our table. I swear to God. Swear to God.
Come
and she's
on.
like, I said, is that Joe? She's like,
Serendipity.
she said, you said something, you need to tell him. You need to tell him right now. So I said, you're exactly right. So when he came in, I said, fam, I need to holler at you. And I sat down and said, man, we need to link up. This need to be me and you do something together. He said, bro, I need you. That's kind of how we linked up. I had a building on 18th and Locust. That deal actually didn't work out for us. But, like I said, God always has a bigger plan. And I had a previous client in commercial development that owned this development hotel on Main. And it was an opportunity for us to buy that business. And so we kind of started working that deal with him. And now we're here, you know what I'm saying? And so it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
We here.
Yeah, we're here.
Boho Sway
At
at the
Canary.
Canary.
Yeah, that's right.
What's the address?
3835 Main.
3835.
Yeah, Kansas City, Missouri.
And the rooftop open right now, right?
Yeah, rooftop's open.
Rooftop open.
Hours of rooftop is Mondays from 4 to 10. Tuesdays and Wednesdays we're closed. Thursdays 4 to 10. Friday is 4 to 11. Saturday is 4 to 11, and Sunday 11 to 7. Brunch. So bottomless, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's a website for that, right?
Yeah, we got all
Okay.
that. Yes, it's
Listen.
Boho Sway at Canary.
Boho Sway at Canary.
.com.
Yeah,
Look,
.com.
I
Yeah.
love the vibe. Jay.
Yeah.
So that's two things. Now
Yeah.
we gonna talk about something else. Where we are
You
now.
got a lot going on.
Art gallery, man. Hey, this
First Fridays just happened. Just had a
man, it was crazy.
man crazy. First
I heard First
just
Fridays
happened.
was popping.
Ah man, it was jumping. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Great
First
vibe.
Fridays was serious.
Yeah, great
New
vibe.
artists coming out, new art. So
Yeah.
talk about where we are now.
Man, it's the gallery. This all just happened by the grace of God. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know. You know, it's so funny. I was talking to a lady. She said, "Steve, you said you want to do an art gallery 4 years ago." I said, "I don't even remember saying that, right?" but this came
Right.
to me not trying to do art gallery. It was like I wanted this space because we already have a chiropractor office 2 doors from her. I said,
Okay.
and we've been here for 10 years. And I was like, man, if this space comes available, I'm just going to take it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to take it. And so I had a client that was looking for another space, a body sculpture kind of deal, injection stuff, and she couldn't get a place. And so I said, I'm just going to partner with her. I'm going to let her rent I'm going to rent to her, and I'm just going to create this space. And so at that time, I was like, man, I was sitting here, brought the couches. I'm just kind of making it in my office. I'm just sitting there, I was like, man, I need some art. And so I'm just gonna do First Friday. I'm just gonna call some artists. And Kid Lane was my first guy. And he
Kid
said,
Lane,
and we met through another. I had a design magazine release party here, right? And he was there.
Yes.
I met him. Said, man, here's what my art looks like. I said, man, bring your art, man. And man, he came in the fire.
Kid Lane
artist.
is dope.
Fire
Very dope.
artist,
Kid Lane
man.
is
It's him behind you, right?
Yeah, he's tough, ain't he?
Yeah,
He's tough.
he's
yeah.
tough.
Yeah,
And
he's
the
tough.
glass pieces.
Yeah, he does a
oh,
lot of
man,
glass
my God.
pieces. He did a big one, man, like a 5x7, maybe it was a 4x8 or 4x7 of my mom when she was like 22. I have it in my office, man, and I call it Forever Young. It's so fire. It's so hot.
Man,
It's
Kid
crazy.
is dope.
He's crazy, yeah, crazy, crazy talent.
His concept is just like,
Yeah, he got crazy vibe too.
Man.
Just a good energy person. You know what I'm saying?
shout out
Very-
Kid Lane. What's
yeah,
up?
very good energy person.
Okay. Steve, we gonna get out of here.
Okay.
But I got just a couple more before we go. We talked about these. What's next? What's next on the plate for you?
Man, I'm trying to manage and sustain stuff right now. So,
Okay.
so that's my game plan. You got to sustain it, build it, sustain it. Hey, I got we got a not for profit, Comedians Against Bullies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, non-for-profit.
Not-for-profit,
I got
Comedians
partnered
Against
with another
Bullies.
one of Wyandott's finest.
Tidy
Diller.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tidy Diller. He in the house, actually. I didn't see
Tidy
him over
Diller,
there.
my man.
Yeah, so Tidy Diller. So we have a non-for-profit that is Comedians Against Bullies. And what we do is plan on educating kids, parents, teachers, how to recognize bullying, in the schools, how to deal with bullying in the schools, come up give them tools and solutions to help kids and parents and teachers through that process.
Yeah.
And so we're going to use comedy as a way to get into the schools and to draw their attention and to engage with them and then come back with a message of empowerment. So I think that's pretty exciting. We got some things on the horizon. Got a couple of comedy tours that are coming up involving that. Some fundraisers and things like that. So
Yeah.
some good things coming out.
What's the age group y'all starting with?
We're going from elementary all up.
All the way.
Yeah. It starts from our youth anyway.
We had the opportunity to work with Tidy and the Committee Against Bullies and doing some things with feeding the homeless and stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So cause he does that as well. Been doing that for years.
Yeah.
Taking out, making sure that the homeless have an opportunity
Yeah.
to eat and have a good
Yeah.
meal. You know what I'm saying?
Tidy
Plus
was doing
socks and things. Yeah, Tidy.
Was he eating the food up?
Was he? I didn't want to put that out
Oh,
there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to put it out there.
Because sometimes you don't like to share.
Well, this is what he said. 2 for them, 1 for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Nah, but we had a great opportunity. It was a great time, man, to do
That's
it.
good.
You know what I'm saying? To see the passion that
That's
what I'm
good.
saying he has.
Yeah, he's
you know what I'm
very
saying, for our
passionate about
community.
community
So it was a
as
great
well.
opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing it again.
That's good. That's
You know
good.
what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Some
That's what's up.
So, Steve, I'm gonna ask you this. What would you tell our youth that's looking up, you know what I'm saying, now, aspiring to be who and what they want to be? What would you tell them? I'm gonna say Steve Hook's key to success.
Right.
What would that be?
Like when I start my kids right now from day one, I tell them, it's very important to find something you love to do. It's so important to find something you love to do, something you feel have passion for, right? And don't worry about the money. Don't worry about if they're gonna take care of you or provide for you. You got to find a passion, because once you find that passion, the solution will come, right? The passion is going to push you past things when it doesn't look like, right, that it's supposed to happen for you, or things are supposed to happen positive, that you have the strength and determination to keep going because you just love to do it,
Right.
because you have a passion for it.
Right.
And then let that and resources and connections help you develop that monetary value of that, right? So I always say about whatever your dreams are, go for that, right? Whatever you think you should want to be, go for that. Make sure you love what you're doing, though. You gotta love what you're doing, because those are the days when you don't feel like getting up, you still get up because you just love to do it. It's not work, it's play.
Right.
Yeah. I love it. That's a
Yeah.
great thing. Okay, one more.
It's always one.
I asked this. I could sit here for 3-4 more hours, but T Money standing up now.
Yeah.
He like, yo,
He like,
you
yeah,
know
go.
what time it
Heard
is.
you say one more.
Yeah, he already gave me the all type of signals.
He said he ready to go,
They
T.
talking in my ear. I went too far.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
we gonna get this one out of here. You had the attention of the world for 20 seconds. What would you say? Now, I don't want you to tell us what you want to say. T Money gonna put you in the camera and he gonna count you down, and you give us the 20 seconds that you would say. Attention of the world, the whole world. You got attention of the world. 20 seconds. What would you say? He's gonna get you in that camera right there. Look in that camera. He's gonna count you down and give us what you would say in that 20 seconds.
Believe in yourself. Love yourself first. Right? Never give up. Have passion on what you ever believe on. Have passion for that. And everything else will fall in place. God bless.
I love it. I thought you was gonna say shoot your shot, but it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now that's what he do. He shoot his shot. Now I know I'm joking, you know what I'm saying, but I'm serious about that because I believe that translates into life. You know what I'm saying? Taking your shot, betting on yourself. I'm gonna take the shot. Not that you won't pass the ball. You don't need teammates.
Yeah.
It's the fact that hey, I'm prepared to take and miss the shot,
That's
and
right.
I'm prepared to take and make the shot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And also prepared to handle the consequences behind it. Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
Being accountable.
Right.
For real.
That's what I mean. I'm prepared to take it, make it,
Yep.
or I'm prepared to take it, miss it. Whatever comes with those,
Take it on.
I'm taking that on, and I'm
it on.
accountable for that.
That's right.
But when I do shoot this time,
Yeah.
and I believe I'm going to make it,
Okay.
don't say nothing.
Okay. I can't.
Don't say nothing.
Because you made it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
I love it.
I'm
Steve,
gonna keep passing it to you.
Yeah.
Then.
Oh, I know that.
Because if you make it, that means I'm winning too.
With
There
this.
we
Come
go.
on with this,
There we
sis.
go. See, now, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get out of here.
Yeah.
That's one thing about Wyandotte County.
Yeah.
Now, we may shoot, we may score, we may do something, but what we understand is winning. And understand that, hey, if my man is shooting, I'm going
Keep passing the
I
ball.
mean, we win it. We win.
Yeah.
If he win, we win.
That's right. That's right.
So it don't matter if he scored 40 today. We won.
We won the game.
One of these days, I'm gonna be shooting. He gonna shoot. He gonna pass it to me, and then I'm gonna do
And we
whatever
gonna-
I
we
do.
gonna win.
But we gonna win,
Yep.
and that's what it's about.
That's right.
So I love that.
Already.
Connecting the dots.
I appreciate that, Steve, and this for real. Like, I really appreciate, your support of us,
For sure.
being able to be here, 1739 Gallery, calling us our home for the last few months.
For sure.
Also, just appreciate your story. I think you have a wonderful story that helps people, empower people to understand they can be who and what they want,
For sure.
and not the traditional, method of what you think being success is.
Right.
And then
So
also, man, you're a family man.
For sure.
You're a person that represents family. Your daughter's doing wonderful things in soccer. We didn't get to talk about that. Her soccer team is doing great. She's
Both my
doing
daughter's
great.
soccer teams are good.
Yeah, both.
I was in
Okay,
college
well,
playing.
excuse me, I didn't.
Yeah.
That's
I
all
didn't
I
mean to
see
leave
you
her
post on
out.
social
I
media,
just
too.
normally see the younger one. I don't see
Yeah.
the older one, college parts. But
Yeah.
both of them.
Yeah,
So
she's doing well. She's doing well. My son's playing basketball in college.
there we go.
Oh,
I didn't
yes,
get,
that's
I didn't get
right.
to get to that. I didn't even get to that.
Yeah.
We got so much more. To
We got
get to.
athletes in our family, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
that's
hard or go
wonderful
home,
fact.
right?
Yeah. Man, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
For
Thank
this
you.
evening.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you all for coming out. Give me, go with me one more time to give a round of oxygen, to Steve Hooks for everything.
Round of applause.
Now you deserve that. You got that.
Hey, so I want you to come back next week. Next week, we have Busy Benton that's going to be
Come
here.
on, busy.
And then we got a performance by Bonita Champagne. That's our
Yeah.
musical guest.
That's
All
gonna
right.
be a
Now, don't
whole
leave.
scene.
Don't leave, because we got Miss Neco the Artist coming back. She gonna end this up for us, okay? But before we go, I am Coach Mo.
I'm Jabrelle Jenee.
All right, and together we are
Culture Keepers. We
Hey,
love you.
We appreciate you. All right?
Yeah.
And we thank you for coming out and being a part of the Evening Social Podcast. All right, stay tuned for our performance after here,
Here she goes.
but we out.
Yeah.
How many of y'all know that God will never leave us alone? How many of y'all know it? I know it. He'll never leave us alone. 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 Though the sea roar and the winds they blow, our enemies shout, but the lion will roar. Strength belongs to our God, my rock of defense. He's my sword and my shield, and he'll never leave us alone. 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 make a joyful noise, all ye lands. Sing praise to our God. He's the righteous man. He's the great I am. The humble will see and declare these words that he'll never leave us alone. 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 He'll never. Praise God. Praise God. And this one right here, before you even start, yo. So this one right here, this is a call to repentance, because we are really at a time and a place in this earth that we got to make a decision. You know, we really got to make a decision on who we gonna serve. And I know that many people have many different views on worship, but I'm telling you, I'm here to declare that Jesus is the way. Let's go. There's so many different ways of worship, so many different religions. But you gotta ask yourself this question: when they come for you, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? What you gonna do when they come for you? You better work while it's still day, the night soon comes. You better work while it's still day, the night soon comes. What you gonna do when they come for you? What you gonna do when they come for you? The light shines in the darkness, but they comprehend him not. They beg and plead, Lord save me, but the door will soon be closed. False prophets running thick in the earth. You better know it for yourself. The days of Noah are before us. You better run, run. It's not his desire that any should perish. Choose Jesus today, and you will be saved. Oh, what you gonna do when they come for you? Yeah, that part. Do you know that at the sound of the trumpet, it'll be too late? You ain't gonna be able to decide no more. You ain't gonna be able to pick a side. You better know what side you stand on. Because it's your final call. This is your final call. This is your final call. This is your final call. At the sound of the trumpet, it will be too late. At the sound of the trumpet, it will be too late. One more time. At the sound of the trumpet, it will be too late. At the sound of the trumpet, it will be too late. Choose Jesus. Choose Jesus. Choose Jesus. You will be saved.